Hello, everyone. It's Coach Maggie, Certified Health and Lifestyle Coach. And it is the last day of 2020. And I'm sure there's a lot of people breathing a sigh of relief. But at the same time, also very cautiously, because we really don't know what 2021 is going to look like. And I'm going to be talking about goals. And I know there's a lot of people out there saying, why even bother? Because look at this year. Why would I set goals? But in my mind, I'm thinking, why wouldn't you want to set goals? The fact is, more than ever, I think we need to be preparing ourselves because we don't know. So we need to be thinking about the things I can control. Who would have thought we would have had this virus when even people that were healthy people were suddenly stricken with it? And we know it was definitely hard on the aged and those with compromised immune systems, but even healthy people were getting it. So, in my mind, I want to take even better care of myself. What about finances? People went to work one day and suddenly found that they didn't have a job to go to the next. Look at how many people were laid off and how many just flat out lost their jobs. And most people weren't prepared for that. They didn't have a bundle of money sitting in a bank for that day that might come along. So, again, we need to be preparing for the unknown. What about relationships? How many families do you know during this time lost loved ones? And it may not have been even related to COVID, but because of COVID, it put such a hardship, an emotional hardship on the family. So that says we need to make sure we're keeping those relationships tight. We're not letting those silly little differences get in the way. You know, my husband and I were talking, our church has a prayer line and we get text updates. And I have never, ever in all of the years, probably combined, seen so many requests for prayer coming through. And again, a lot of them were not even COVID related. There's just been so much going on, and let's face it, so much turmoil. So, all the more we need to be setting goals to basically safeguard to make sure that we do get through these trying times. So, I'm going to quickly give you 5 tips. A lot of people don't set goals because number one, they set big goals, which I love big goals. You know, they say big, audacious goals. But do you know what the problem is? They set the big goal, but there's no steps to get to that goal. So it's like putting the house way up on the hill, but there's no way to get to it. So my philosophy, if you followed me, is baby steps. So yes, make the big goal, but then set baby steps that are so easy that you get those quick wins that keeps the momentum going. So, for example, if you want to lose 50 pounds, that's a great goal. But then you need some baby steps to get to that goal. So that's when you need to say, okay, so what are some things I can do? What are some easy things I can do? Well, I can start drinking more water. I can maybe get up and move around more. I can eat more vegetables. You know, things that fit your life. I'm not about all or nothing. Maybe it's a financial goal. Maybe you want to get out of debt. That's an amazing goal. That should be everyone's goal for 2021. But it's not going to happen overnight. But it's a lot of baby steps. It's like saying, okay, let's get on a budget. Let's stop just sort of wasting money here and there. Let's plug up those holes where the money is going through, where we're just throwing it away, late fees, all of these things. But it takes a plan. So talk to somebody who's good with finances. What about relationships? Let's mend those. Okay? So again, we want to have big goals, but we want to have small steps to get there. The other thing is our goals should be process based instead of outcome. So for example, if I want to go on a vacation with my family, then I want to go to build relationships, memories, all of those things. It's not to try to impress someone or I want to lose weight. It's not so that I can go show off to, my friends or at our class reunion next year, or because I'm going to be in a wedding. Because guess what? After the wedding, more than likely, I'm going to put that weight back on. After I've impressed people, that weight's going to come back. Because the weight was an outcome. It wasn't about who I want to be. But if it's turned on, I want to be the best I can be. I want to be around years from now for my family. I want to have energy. Those are good, solid goals. And then again, you need the baby steps. And every time when I'm tempted to go off track, it's going to be, nope, I don't want to do that because that's taking away from who I want to be. The next thing is be specific. So many goals are vague. And so there's no way to gauge if you're close or if you're far away. But again, if you're going on vacation, be specific. Okay, we're going to go in July, or we're going to do this, or I want to lose 50 pounds by August. Be specific and make sure it's something that can be attainable. You want to have some challenge there, but you want it so that you can attain it. Don't set a goal for 100 pounds when you know, wait a minute, there's no way in a year that I can healthily, is that a word? Lose 100 pounds and keep it off without having a lot of things going on. Set a time limit. Again, if it's just out there and there's no sense of when you're going to do it or go or whatever, if it's just saving to save for a vacation that is not even planned or talked about, then you're not going to, have much skin in the game. There's not going to be that sense of, ooh, let's save. But if I say, hey, let's rent a house in the mountains for August, and I have pictures there for everybody to see, that's going to encourage me to be like, yep, we're going to eat at home because we're going to that house and we're going to have a great time. So again, we need to have some kind of a time limit. And then as far as measuring, that's the how. How are we going to do it? We're only going to eat out maybe once a month instead of every weekend. Or we're going to save here, or we're going to sell a few things. We've got an extra car we don't use, or we've got these different things going on. So again, the more specific the way we can measure, then the more likely we're going to achieve the goals. The other thing is expect setbacks. Yep. Because too often we have a plan and we aren't planning for those interruptions. We're not planning for those things that have a way of coming up. For example, if we're planning on that trip to rent a cabin in the woods, we need to make sure we've got some extra cash in there. Because sure enough, in March, the dryer will go out. And suddenly, maybe you've been very strategic. You've been measuring. You've been putting $150 aside every month for that trip. But you can almost bank on something coming up that it's going to be, where are we going to get that money? And suddenly it's like, oh, I guess it's coming out of the vacation fund. So, plan for setbacks because they will come. And so I think if you keep these things in mind, it will help you have a better way to track your progress. To see, ooh, we need to step it up, or hey, we're doing great. So maybe we can go and do something over here. So in the description, I do have a link to my goal setting guide. It goes through some steps. There's some templates that you can use and actually copy and just get you on your way to getting strategic about how are we going to do this. Too often we just go from year to year. We tear December off, we start a new calendar, and we really don't have any goals in mind of who we want to become, things we want to do. And so life doesn't get planned. And yes, there are going to be those things that come that we cannot control, but there's a lot we can control. And so this at least puts us on a path to reaching some of those goals so that each year we can actually go into each new year saying, I want this to be the best one ever. So I want that for me, and I want that for you. So anyway, again, thank you for being part of this community. I'd love it if when you leave comments or like the page, share it. That just tells me I'm speaking to someone out there. So anyway, I hope you have an amazing last day and start planning. Tomorrow's a great day. I'm going to take my tree down. Tomorrow will be a great day to sit down with even just a scratch pad and talk it over with your family. Say, what are some things that you want to do this year? Because again, it needs to be on paper. The percentage goes skyrocketing if we write things down. If it's just up here, we're going to forget, and it's just not going to happen. So have an amazing day and an amazing 2021. And again, don't forget, go get the goal setting guide. And also, if you just need a little help getting that umph to start the new year, you can also use that link to still schedule. Today's the last day, but schedule a 30-minute strategy talk with me. I've already done a couple, and it's a great way just to get some things that you can start on to get you going in the right direction. So anyway, have a great day. God bless. Take care.